Mitesh, slow start, strong close. Would you bet on that?
Difficult to say, Nikunj. I think, broadly, see, if you look at the market, we are getting a consolidative kind of a movement. Yesterday there was a possibility, and towards the end there were strong buy signals on intraday charts that we might eventually manage to get past 5180. Now, I've spoken about enough about the level of 5180, which was the critical levels in the month of March and April before the breakdown happened. Having said that, it's very difficult to assume when actually the breakout will happen from a sideways consolidation. So typically one has to wait for the breakout to happen. Having said that, I think today's gap down will confine us back to the range, back to the consolidation phase of about 50, 50, 50, 40 broadly on the downside to about 5180 on the upside. I'm not sure whether we will close strong or not, but I think it only confirms that we still haven't got through the pain of consolidation to really get into a directional mode. What is also important is that in the last few days, any kind of corrections or negative openings have been bought into. So today, I think if you open around the 5,110.20 mark, which is near the 10-day average, I think that's an important level to watch out for. And I think a lot of indication will come within the first half an hour as to whether we are going to, sustain below those levels and possibly extend the decline in the next few days to levels of 5050, or we are looking at a stronger close to the weekend. So in the first half an hour, we might get some kind of a signal, but the level to watch out for intraday traders would be around 51.10.20. That's the 10-day moving average for the Nifty. That's the first critical short-term level to watch out for. And if we start trading below that, I think I would possibly bet on a retest of the recent lows of 50, 50, 50, 40. That's the kind of scenario we are into. The Bank Nifty also, yesterday gave a very strong closing, nearly towards the day's high. But again, I think that level of 10,000, which was psychologically important, technically important, because there was an important pivot point over there. While it was being crossed, I think that breakout clearly gets negated with the gap down opening today. So again, I think if the Bank Nifty after the opening down kind of manages to sustain around some level and then sees a bounce back again beyond 10,000, I think that would clearly suggest that we are re-entering the movement which we saw yesterday, and I think we should then possibly bet on a very, very strong close and even around the 5180 mark. So Bank Nifty could be the first key to watch out for. I think if that index somewhere during the day shows some kind of reversal, I think I would bet on a strong close then.
So Mitesh, what individual trades would you recommend to our viewers?
Well, despite the fact that we might open a percent gap down, I've got a mix of buy and sell calls. The first one is a sell, Jubilant Foods, which was also given as a sell in yesterday's closing show. It has now started trading below the critical level of 1190, which in the last week was proving very good support for the stock price. I think that's a short-term breakdown which could take the stock price down to levels of about 1125, possibly even 1075 to 1050 on the downside. So we've got about 10% kind of a move which is possible over here. For the time being, sell with a stop at 1210 for a first price target of 1125. I've got a buy on Renuka Sugar, and I've been positive on Renuka and Bajaj Instant for the last few days. This one can be bought with a stop below 28 for a price target of 31. BHEL, after a few days of effort, the stock finally managed to get past levels of 220, 221 and close above that. But I would just want to wait for the stock to get past 225, reaffirm that some kind of strength or buying is happening in the counter. So buy about 225 with a stop at 217 for a price target of 242. A sell on Godrej Industries, which we have been negative on for last few days. In the last couple of days, we got a good kind of pullback. I think this stock will resume the downtrend, go down to levels of 220, 218, which is also the 200 average, and sell this with a stop at 238. And I've got a sell on IOB, possibly the only banking stock which did not really participate yesterday, failed to fill the opening gap. I think there's some kind of negative structure over here. Sell this with a stop at 87 for a price target of 80 on the downside.
Mitesh, but if you really look at the broader trend, the broader trend is that Indian markets are now falling less, they are gaining more. On good global gains, on good global days, we are outperformers. On bad global days also, we are still outperforming global markets.
That's correct, and I definitely agree with that. I think, I've just said this, that repeatedly what we have seen in the last few days is that every correction has been immediately bought back into. I think we have not had corrections lasting for more than a few hours on the Nifty as well as on stocks. The Nifty mid-cap index is also given a buy, which typically means that if the breadth is good, the overall trend should continue on the upside. But I think, if you look at the Nifty movement itself, the level of 5180 assumes a lot of significance in the way it had supported the in the way it had acted in the month of March and April. Now getting past an important technical level will take some more consolidation possibly. As I said, I think it's very difficult to comment when a consolidation could end. But I think 5110, 5120, if that is being broken, the only thing we are looking at possibly is a percent more of decline to levels of about 50-50. So that still suggests that we are in strength, but we might take some more time just getting sideways before getting past the major technical barrier.